Welcome to Ghosty Talk Shows. Lead from within.
Find your own voice.
Challenges we have had to overcome in 2020.
Find your own voice.
The world has become united by the unseen, knowing there are no guarantees for tomorrow.
Lead from within.
Find your own voice.
Let the world hear your voice and be filled within.
For the day has come for you to be a great leader.
The time has come to break away from the pain, distraction, experience the unthinkable.
For the day has come for you to be a great leader. Welcome to Gossip Talk Shows, everyone. My name is Nomsa Clara Mngube. I am the founder of Hope Spring Eternal Introduction Agency and Gossip Talk Shows. So here at Ngozi Talk Shows, we help you find your own voice, lead from within. Hope Springs Eternal Introduction Agency, we help you find love. So if you're single and you are looking for love, I am your love harmonist. Get in touch. So today, basically the topic today is, I'm on my own by the way today, and I'm on my own today, and hi, Shahidi, how are you? So you are in Pakistan. It's evening. I guess you say evening. So I guess in Pakistan it's evening. Wow, I'm happy to have you here. So our topic today is, I'm on my own today, so everyone is having a break. And our topic today is, how do you forgive someone who has hurt you? So if you have been hurt before and you're watching this talk show, and please, or you're watching it later, please leave a comment, basically to let us know, give us some tips on how you manage the process of forgiveness. Because we all go through challenges in life, and forgiving is one of the hardest things anyone could ever do. Just try forgiving someone, it hurts, but it is worth it in the end. So when you've been hurt by someone, it feels like your heart has been ripped apart. I'm talking about basically, and when it feels like your heart is being ripped apart, stripped apart, and you want to hold on to that pain, you want to hold on to the person who has hurt you, and you don't want to let it go because you feel hurt, and you feel like there are some people that I talk to sometimes, they're like, why do I need to forgive? And basically they don't understand what is forgiveness and why do they need to forgive those who have hurt them. So what is forgiveness? Forgiveness is letting go of any negative thoughts or any unwanted feelings that have been planted in your life. Basically, you might have gone through pain, through abuse. Some people go through abuse, sexual abuse, physical abuse. People go through emotional abuse, and some people basically they feel rejected basically by their parents and the abuse that goes through. Or some people basically is the parents watching the parents fighting. Sometimes the children end up taking side, and it does happen a lot. For children, you find that this child doesn't speak to their parents because of maybe dad was abusing their mom, so they felt that their father should not have done that, or their mother was abusive, or it's just the other way around. And sometimes it is just forgiving somebody. Sometimes people who have lost their children. I have someone, one of my friends, she basically lost her son, was killed last year. I think her story basically was big on the media, on BBC. So basically, she got angry with God, and she couldn't understand why would God let that happen into her life, into her children. So it is basically sometimes it can be really, really hard to forgive. And you may find that the people that you are actually holding unforgiveness against, they have moved on with their lives, but you are still basically emotionally, you're still tied to that person who has hurt you. But them, they came and they hurt you and they moved on, and they're doing it to somebody else, or maybe sometimes they're just not doing it to somebody else because that person will not allow them to do it. So, and they've moved on, they are living a life. You find there are people, men and women, who go through abuse and in relationships, and the people that have hurt them, or rejection, or the person that has hurt them, they've moved on and they've dating somebody else, or basically they are married to somebody else, and you that find that person is still hurting. So what is forgiveness anyway? Does forgiveness mean you forget what has happened to you? Does forgiveness mean you forgive somebody and you keep reminding them of what they have done? I've met people who've been in a relationship and their other half cheats on them, but they decide to forgive, but not quite. They don't forgive. They keep reminding them when is when they hit the argument, they'll keep reminding them what they have done, but that's not forgiveness. Forgiveness, it doesn't mean we forget what has been done to us. It means we can actually let go of the pain. It means we can actually look at the situation, see what we have learned. For me as a Christian, basically, when there are people that have hurt me in life, I've held unforgiveness for a very long time. 2009, when I actually decided that I'm going to work on the unforgiveness, it tended to become a different story. It was a different story which I would not want anyone to hold the unforgiveness with somebody else. If that person has hold you, has hurt you, don't let them write your own story, because if you don't forgive them, you are giving them authority. You are giving them the control to actually basically control your life. If you have gone through pain, you can forgive the other person. You can let go of that pain. You can break the chains. You can break everything that God did not plant. When God gave you your book of life, when you were born, your book of life was already written. There is no pain in there. In that book of life, there is no rejection. There is no abuse. There is no what else is there? There is no anger. There is nothing. There is joy. So you can actually uproot anything. If you are not a Christian, you can actually meditate, basically, to help you break the chains of unforgiveness. Or if you are a Christian, you can uproot every chain of anger, the chain of unforgiveness, so you can heal yourself and teach others. That's why you find there are so many people who are telling their story about what happened in the past, and they are actually now they've rewritten their story. The bad story has been rewritten how they want. And now they are in control of that story. They are teaching others. If you read a book, there is a book that you can find, Unforgiveness. You can go on Amazon, find the book, how it's written. People are writing books, speaking engagement, they've learned from that hurt, from that pain, from that anger. They've healed themselves. They've had time to actually heal. And now they're teaching others to actually the process of healing. So if you have gone through a hurt, you have gone through the experience of pain, so you can rewrite your own story. You can tell others your own story. And some people believe that forgiveness basically it means I'm gonna forgive this person so they don't hurt me again. So when you forgive this somebody because of that, forgiveness it comes from within. It's something that you are right. Basically, you have to, when you forgive somebody, there's no agenda. You say to yourself, you make a commitment to yourself that I don't want to feel like this anymore. I don't want you that has hurt me to take control of my life. I don't want you, the person who has hurt me, to keep hurting me. You letting them go without an agenda or to say, yeah, I'm protecting myself. If you forgive somebody because you are protecting yourself, then you're not forgiving them. You have to forgive based on what God says, whatever the universe says. You have to forgive from the heart that, you know what, I forgive you. And if you do have a chance of meeting the person that has hurt you and actually talk to them, for me personally, I suggest that give yourself a chance. If they agree to meet you, sometimes you might have some unanswered questions, not because you want to fight, not because you feel that it has to happen. Sometimes you might want to actually uh, feel that it's mostly in relationships. I basically like it when somebody cheats on you, instead of you holding unforgiveness and find out why they did what they did to you. Was it because of something that you've done, or was it something that have happened to them in the past? So it's just for you basically to actually, because sometimes people do things not realizing that they are hurting you. If somebody cheats on you, they are hurting you basically because when you meet somebody and you say you're gonna have a relationship with this person, promises are made that I'm gonna love you until, I'm gonna be with you until. But when those promises are broken, you feel hurt. So if somebody has cheated on you, have a chance to talk to them and find out, was it something that you did, something that you did that made them basically to have peace. But if you don't have that opportunity to speak to that person, you're gonna have to understand that when somebody cheats on you, it's not necessarily because of what you've done, it's because of who they are. Maybe they didn't get enough love when they were growing up as a child. There's something that is making them, from their childhood attachment, that is making them behave the way they behave. And then you are there in the picture, and then you get caught up in this triangle of love triangle, because that person, that's who they are. That means they have some issues that they need to deal with it, and you just happen to be there and caught up in the situation. So if you have a chance, just forgive. Is the experience of being hurt, it is not a fun thing. But how do you basically, how do you forgive somebody that basically, something that is unforgivable? Something that is unforgivable is something like if somebody is dead. I don't know if death is something that is unforgivable. Actually, you can forgive if somebody has killed somebody in my family. Actually, you can forgive if somebody has killed someone in your family. You can forgive. Uh, there was a guy. There was a woman when I forgot the guy. Her son was killed, and she basically, in front of the television, she said, "I forgive." the person that killed my son. Because to her, she didn't want to hold on to pain. She wanted her son to be laid to rest. She wanted to basically to free her son to go to heaven, because if she had hold on to unforgiveness, her son would have been held on earth, and that means his soul will suffer. So that's what happened, and that's what happened. Uh, Forgiveness basically is not avoiding things repeating themselves in the past. Basically, what happens is when somebody hurts you, you don't give them that opportunity basically to do it again. You make it very, very clear that you're not going to hurt me. I have forgiven you, and you're not going to hurt me again. If it's a man or if it's a woman, if it's a relationship, basically, you're not going to go back to a cheater because a cheater has given you so many excuses that I did this because of this. So you are not going to go back to that person who's cheated you on you, because they will do it again unless they find a really, really good therapist that can work on them. And you basically, if the therapist it basically gets involved and the therapist can give you the feedback after, then you can actually continue dating that person. But just by saying I actually stopped cheating or I stopped doing this, and if you believe it, then it means they will go back and do it again if they have not gone through professional help. So that means they will do it again. So basically, when you forgive that person, that means you will live in fear. So if someone says forgiveness is avoiding the past repeating itself, I don't think, for me basically, I don't see it avoiding. I see forgiveness as me giving myself a freedom, giving myself the life that God created for me. God never created me to hold someone's heart, because if I'm holding someone in their heart, I am holding their destiny. I am holding my destiny. I don't want to do that. So I want to be free. So that's why forgiveness basically, it is a beautiful thing to do. It's tough, but it is a beautiful thing to do, because it means you can follow your path gracefully without basically pain. It means you're breaking the chains. I have photos on my Facebook. Anyone that is following me on Facebook, I basically have a photo with me covered in chain. So you can have a look at that photo. Those are the chains that I basically that I'm wearing on that profile picture is the chains of rejection that I managed to break them. The chains of basically I'm not enough. I managed to break them. The chains of basically being abused at work. I have never been sexually abused, but being abused by people at work sometimes, and also not going for the things that I want. Because believing that I'm not enough. So it's the chance that I had to forgive myself, and the chance of hanging out with the wrong people that make me feel that they are better than me. So those are the chains that I had to break. If you look at my profile, those are the chains. It's me saying I broke those chains, the chains of betrayal. I've been betrayed before. I'm sure somebody has been betrayed before. I've been betrayed before. And basically, so basically what happens is that some people have been betrayed. Some people have been there are some people here have been sexually and physically abused, and they've been pushed away by basically they feel like they've been dismissed and pushed away by the authority or by family members. There are people that are being abused in relationships, and mostly in Africa, when somebody is wealthy, you're married to a wealthy person, and you tell your family that you are being abused, this person is abusive. your family sometimes they don't want to listen because they feel that you have the right person because that person is wealthy. And I'm sure it happens in other cultures as well, where you find that there is abuse in a relationship or sexual abuse, and when a child is speaking up, or when that person who is married to that person or in a relationship with that person, they are trying to speak up and they're being made wrong. So basically, that person can feel dismissed, can feel pushed away. They can feel like basically they're being pushed away by the authority and by the people whose job basically is to actually listen to them. So what do you do when you feel dismissed, when you feel pushed away? But you have to know that God loves you. You have to act by faith. You cannot revenge. There are some people that if say, I am going to revenge. You cannot revenge for somebody if no matter how much this person has hurt you, you cannot revenge. God says vengeance is mine. We don't have to hold on to pain. We don't have to hold on to anger. We don't have to hold on to actually hold on to that chain that is holding us. We can break free. We can trust. God says, do you trust me? When I went through, basically, I went through basically a rejection myself. And when you date somebody and they tell you the story that everything is fine when you start dating them, and they basically it turns out to be a different story. So men, I think you are familiar with this story. When a man is breaking up with a woman, they are like, it's not you, it's not you, it's me. So I just feel like I need a break. And they come to you and say, I need a break. It's not you, it's me. And that when somebody has made promises and wasted your time, it can feel like the world is falling apart if you are not into personal development. So at this moment, I felt hurt because I wasn't into personal development. So anyone who is into personal development, or myself, if somebody rejects me right now, I'll say, hallelujah, thank God that you've rejected me. But God, because I will understand that God loves me, and that person has rejected me, but not really because their lives is messed up themselves. So it's not because of what I've done. So I will basically in that way. But before, I wasn't into personal development, and but I remember thinking that basically God is telling me to trust Him, and for me to trust God. And as a Christian, basically, you have to trust. Whether you believe in the universe, whether whatever your beliefs that might be, you have to trust. Because as a human being, you are basically, everyone is in a magnificent, amazing, basically person that was created by their creator. So just because somebody's life is messed up and they are coming to mess up yours, it doesn't mean that you have to live in that story. You can rewrite your own story how you want to write the story. It doesn't matter whether people judge you or anything. It doesn't matter. My basically, however I think of you, is basically, it doesn't mean it's true. So you just have to forgive yourself, forgive the person who has hurt you, and you can go through professional help as well if you feel that you want professional help for your healing. Because if you have been hurt emotionally and physically, you need to go through healing. And once you go through emotional healing, then you use a prayer, but first you need professionals. professional. They're not going to judge you. They're going to help you so that basically it get into depression, or it doesn't get into anxiety. So you can go and seek professional help. Once you seek professional help, use meditation to relax your to basically meditate, or you can use prayer. I use prayer. Basically, I meditated through prayer. So you can use your beliefs, however you believe, and basically to make sure that you cut the roots. Every tree has roots. Every problem has the roots of the problem. So when you forgive, you go through the roots of the problem, and you cut that tree, the roots, or you don't cut the tree on top with the leaves. You cut the roots of the tree. Anything that got it, for me, basically, I cut it. Even if I have, sometimes you find that you can have horrible friends. So basically, my prayer is, when I pray, basically, I say, any friend that is in my life, it will hurt me, that is not planted by God, let it be uprooted. Let them be uprooted. Because you don't know, people enter your life, you don't know their agenda. So I always pray. When I pray, I always say, God, give me people that will help me to be where I need to be. If there's anyone in my life that is here to hurt me, let them be uprooted. So you can uproot the problem. You can uproot anything or that person until you feel that the problem is gone. So you can look at the problem. Where did the problem started? And if you're praying, if you're meditating, focus on how the problem began. What part did you play? Any part of that problem? If you played a part of the problem of abuse by hoping that it will stop on its own. So you meditate, you focus on that and break that belief. So you have to break the chains, break that habit of you thinking that if people are wronging you and they're gonna change, because people don't change. People change, but at their own time when they realize it. So when you see somebody hurting, you have to take action. You don't hope that, oh, this person is horrible to me, but I'm hoping that they're gonna stop. I'm hoping that one day I'm gonna walk to the office and this person that is bullying me, I'm hoping that they're gonna stop. No, they are not gonna stop, because sometimes they might not know what they are doing. So it is up to you to actually raise the alarm, the awareness of, I don't like to be treated the way I'm being treated. So you forgive. That's how you forgive. You cut the roots of the problem. You uproot anything, any pain that you don't want in your life. You uproot any anger that has been planted in your heart, in your life. You have to rewrite everything in your body, every organ. If it's a heart that it feels broken, you uproot anything that is in my heart that it should not be there. Be uprooted. You write it off. If you are a Christian, you wipe it off by the blood of Jesus. Or if you're meditating, you can focus on that problem. Focus, meditate, focus on the problem. Come face to face with the pain and see yourself basically releasing yourself from that pain. If the pain is in your heart, if the pain is in your heart, if your heart is broken, you can uproot it by focusing on your heart and asking the blood to wipe away that pain, to wipe away the anger, to wipe away the cancer, that is the broken, anything that you don't want in your body, any chains of bitterness, the chains of anger, ask to be broken. You can break it. You can look it face to face. The chain of anger. If you are angry at somebody, Look at that face that is making you angry. See yourself coming face to face with that person and break it. Once you even the thoughts, be aware of the thoughts, how they come to you. Be aware of the pain and then deal with it. Those who have had you, they might be having freedom. They might be having problem while you are going through the unforgiveness. So anything that has been planted in your life, let it be uprooted. The chains of bitterness, let it be uprooted. Wipe it away, wipe away. You can wipe away the anger, every burden, every weight of unforgiveness, every weight of bitterness that is holding you captivity, because the chain of bitterness, if somebody has hurt you in a relationship, it will hold you captivity if you don't deal with it. And that's why people enter a relationship and they are not fully healed, and they enter a relationship, they're scared, fear comes in. Scared if this person is going to do the same thing that happened because of the person that hurt you before. But if you deal with it, when you go to another relationship, basically there will be no fear. The stronghold needs to be broken. The fear, the guilty, the shame, the chains of shame, guilty. Some people do feel guilty, even though they were wronged, they end up feeling guilty. Just because they dated that person, just because they were, maybe their parents have hurt them, they end up feeling guilty. But do you need to feel guilty? No, you don't. You do not need to feel guilty. You just need to break the grip of unforgiveness. Give grace and mercy. Ask God for grace and mercy to forgive you from holding unforgiveness, and to forgive those who have hurt you. We still need to ask for forgiveness on behalf of those who have hurt us. If you have the opportunity, like I say from the beginning, if you have the opportunity to meet the person, why not? Be as authentic as possible. Just be authentic. Bring the energy to break that chain against the unforgiveness. You can break the chain against the unforgiveness. And it will also, when you meet somebody, it will also give you an opportunity to communicate your pain, to communicate with that person. Remember, they don't have, the person that has hurt you, they don't have to actually forgive you. If you are looking for forgiveness, or if you are looking for somebody to tell you that basically, I'm sorry, they don't have to say I'm sorry in order for you to forgive. They don't. And they will never say sorry, because some people just don't, because they don't realize what they've done. So you don't need to wait for them to say sorry. There are some people, like when you talk to them, they are like, how come this person does not acknowledge what they've done to me? They don't even say sorry. Some people were born like that. So it doesn't mean that they've hurt you, they're going to give you sorry. They're not going to give you sorry. You just have to forgive for your freedom, to free yourself from captivity, to free yourself from every chain of unforgiveness, chain of anger, chain of anxiety. Even if it's tough, So you just have to do that. Pray for them. If you are somebody who prays, pray for those who have hurt you. I'm not saying you just have to be, basically do what the other person wants. Basically, every healing process is done authentic. You have to be authentic when you're doing the process of unforgiveness, and you pray for those who have hurt. You pray for yourself. You ask God to bless them. And when you ask God to bless them and bless you, that means you can't go around and talking about it, that this person did this person did this. It means when you find, hi John, how you doing? So when you find yourself basically talking about that person who has hurt you, but you have gone through basically healing of unforgiveness or forgiveness, that means that there is still something in your heart that is still holding on. So you have to search through your heart so you can break that pain, so you can break that whatever stronghold that you have basically in your life, so you can break it, so you can forgive them fully. So you don't have to when you forgive somebody, you don't have to talk about them anymore. You don't have to go around and say, oh, he did this, he did this. That means you still need to work on more healing. So you still need to go through healing. And when you go through healing, when you forgive somebody fully, even when you see them, whatever they've done in the past, you don't think about it because you have let go completely. You don't, when you see them, they don't anger you. You just look at them because God, um, the reason why you don't hold unforgiveness is because the person that hurt you, if they don't ask for unforgiveness, if they don't ask you for forgiveness, that means they have their own battle that they will face in life. Because basically God is a spirit, He is the judge, He is the judgment. So when you forgive somebody, you are basically entering the throne of grace and saying, God, this is me. I bring you all. Me, I'm coming on and I bring my case. You don't need to explain what you've gone through because God is already going through. So once you leave your case in that throne of grace, that person that you put the case, they need to go in and defend themselves. By defending themselves is by asking, although you have asked for their forgiveness, for God, you have asked God to forgive them. You have asked for your forgiveness. It doesn't mean it is complete. It's complete to you because you have asked for your forgiveness. You ask God to forgive them, but God still wants them to speak. Universe still wants them to hear their voice saying the words that please forgive me for hurting this person, knowingly or unknowingly. So that's how it works. So it does. That's why basically you don't have to worry about holding somebody or saying this person has hurt me and I'm gonna hold them. You don't have to worry because how the universe works, how God works. God doesn't work like us, like the way we work. He works in so many ways. In a way that if you trust Him, you hand over your case for judgment, there will be judgment. There will be there will be judgment. So if you hand over your case and say, this is what I've gone through, and I'm asking for your forgiveness, and I'm asking you to forgive those who have hurt me, my enemies. So yes, He will forgive you. He will forgive you. But He will still want your enemy to come and ask for forgiveness. And then the case will be complete. But if they don't come, then they have God to deal with. So that's why it's very, very important for you not to make yourself ill, not to worry about the person that has hurt you, because when you've been hurt, you can feel that your life has been stripped away from you. You can feel that everything has been taken away from you. Or if you've been hurt by somebody who has cheated on you, or even sometimes it is the parents, sometimes children get hurt through the divorce as well. So so as a child, if somebody you're watching and you are hurt because of your parents, you have to forgive your parents. And you got to understand it as an adult that basically parents are just people. They get married and things don't work out, but they can't live together because that would be right, that would be wrong. So, but then they have to go separate ways. And then if you have somebody who has hurt you, you can't stay with that person for the sake of staying with them. You can seek help. It's not an easy journey. You can seek help. You can seek help and basically live your life how you want. It's not going to be an easy journey. I'm not saying when you decide, okay, this is what I'm going to do. The process of forgiveness is not an easy process. I go through it. It hurts. It hurts to let it go. It hurts basically to confront the feelings. Anyone that is going through the healing, the process of forgiveness, they know what I'm talking about. It hurts. When you let it go completely, it hurts. When you let go of the person that has hurt you, it hurts. So it is very, very, very important for you basically to go through that healing and break free, because I was never free when I was holding unforgiveness. It's like the small things each and every single day that happens every single day. When you hold on to someone in their heart, they make a mistake. You hold on to somebody. You hold on. It becomes basically a stronghold. But when you are faced with the healing, it's an amazing process after. The afterbeat is amazing. It's really, really, really amazing. I did it with the Paul McKenna's programs, 2009 or 2010. Can't remember really the exact time, but I think it was 2010. And it was a really, really, really uh, a different experience, because I had to face, I had to imagine in front of the mirror, coming to face with people who have hurt me. And then I had to come face to face with my face, the person that has been holding unforgiveness for years. And that really hurt. That really, really hurt when I actually decided I'm going to let it go. It is time for me to let it go. It is time for me to break away from his chains. It was the time for me to remove that weight, that burden that I've been carrying for years. It was time for me to remove myself, break away from the captivity, from the stronghold, from the guilty, from the shame that I felt in my life. And I shouldn't have felt that, but I allowed myself to feel that shame. I allowed myself to feel the guilty that I felt that moment. So I had to go through that, forgiving myself. But the feeling after that, it was amazing. It was amazing because I had to let go. And those pain feelings were holding me. doing the things that I wanted to do. They were holding me in my relationships. When I'm in a relationship, I would never do the things that I want to be doing because I'll be worried about the person hurting me in the same way that the other person hurt me. I'll be worried about that. But I had to let it go of the pain and know that we're all different. Not just because this person has hurt me, it doesn't mean that this person is going to hurt me again. So I had to go through the healing. It was amazing. But the first bit wasn't. The pain, going through pain and reliving the experience and telling the person that I forgive you, it wasn't easy. But after, it was amazing. The feeling was amazing. It was amazing. So I leave you today, guys. Basically, if you have been holding unforgiveness in your life, in your heart, it's not too late. If you are in a relationship, you're not happy in that relationship, not because of the person you are dating, because of what you went through in the past, you can still go through healing so you can live a happy life with the person you are with in that relationship. If you have been hurt by your parents, you can still go through the healing and forgive. Don't allow people who have hurt you to control your life, to have control over life, and to have control over your destiny. Find your inner peace and reach out basically to your inner peace. Experience God's mercy and grace. If you don't believe in God, experience the life that you've basically always wanted in your life. You don't have to let people basically control your life. You can live your life how you want. I've gone through unforgiveness. I do not allow anyone to hurt me anymore. And I'm not scared. I don't fear anything with business. I've done business with people. Somebody promise 2009. Yeah, 2009 basically in Essex. We met this guy and we did a business with him. He's an Indian guy, and he took £10,000. And when he took £10,000, and the following day we went to his office, he had cleared all his office and gone. So we had to forgive that. You have to do you, and the you does not involve you holding unforgiveness. It does not involve you letting people take control in your life. You have to hold the pen. You have to sit in that driver seat and drive the car, your destiny. Writing your own story. Be the person that God created you to be. If Nomsa didn't make you, Nomsa cannot define you. No one can define you and tell you that you are not beautiful and tell you that you are not handsome. Like, I don't want to be with you anymore because you are not enough. No one can define you. If I didn't make you, I cannot define you. I cannot define your destiny. Your creator created you to be the person that you are meant to be. So how can I how can I change your story? I can't. Unless if you let me. So I can't. It's not an easy journey, but it can be done. So if you are looking for love and you have been hurt before, you have been rejected before, and you are like, I don't think there's good women or good men out there, or you feel that I'm not so sure about dating if there's anything such love. Love exists. Love is from within. You just have to find somebody that is authentic, that has basically worked out their own mistakes in life and accepted themselves. Love exists. So you don't have to question love. Love exists. God is love is number one. For me, I love God. He's my number one. My man is my number two. If I love God, I know we're good to go, because I know God will protect me. If I seek Him to protect me, He will protect me. He will give me a good man to love me and to protect me. So love comes from within. So if you are looking for that love that comes from within, intimacy love, I'm not talking about friendship love, go to our website, Hope Spring Eternal Introduction Agency, www.hseia.com, and you fill out an application form, and you send it through. For men, because men are my basically clients, women are members within the agency. So for men, you can fill out an application form, or I meet you, I fill out the application form for you. So we meet all our clients face to face, and the service, everything is personalized to your want, to your desires. You know, when you go to Waitrose, you are like, oh, I have that, I'll have that, I have that. That's what we do, but in an authentic way. We don't want you to have a woman that is going to cost you lots of money when you're going through divorce. So you can register within the agency, and we take it from there. If you meet up and you like how basically if we meet up and if we meet, hi Sega,
Oh yeah, good afternoon. It's good to be
how are you? Have you just come on?
Yeah, of course. Okay, let me see.
I was just saying goodbye to the audience.
Oh, really? Amazing.
Yeah, yeah. You're meant to be here at 1 o'clock.
Oh, okay. I think I actually miscalculated the time conversion because I was, Canadian time. I was thinking Canada should be 2 hours ahead of Nigeria. I was thinking.
Okay, so where are you? Are you in Canada or Nigeria?
No, I'm in Nigeria. I'm reaching out from Nigeria.
Okay, no, I'm not in Canada. I'm in the UK.
Oh, okay, UK. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
I
so
was
your
actually using
time,
Canada.
we are using the same time.
Okay, yeah, that's true. UK Nigeria use the same time. I was actually you're reaching out from. I thought you're reaching out from Canada.
So
Sorry about that.
what's the
So I
time?
was just
Huh?
yeah. Well, the time here is 2:58.
2:58.
Yeah, 2:58 p.m.
Okay, so the time here is 1:58.
Oh, okay. So that shows we are 1 hour ahead of you there.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, so please let me just take this time to tender my apologies for not being able to be a part of your show on that day. It was really a very busy day for me, in a long journey and a lot of things like that, consider the festive season and all of that. So apologies, please. Apologies. I'm really so sorry about that. Okay.
You need to apologize to the audience, not me.
Okay. Okay. So I wouldn't know if the audience is there right now listening. I don't know.
Okay, okay. So what I would say is just to make it up to the audience. Do you want to talk a little bit about forgiveness? Then we can go.
Okay. All right. So I hope one of these days I'm actually gonna hold it up to them and tender it before everybody.
Okay. So do you want to say something, or do you just want to say goodbye?
Yeah, well, basically, I think the topic you treated today, because you've closed it up already. So the topic was something that actually got my attention. Forgiveness and forgiving people who have. Okay, good, good. Okay, so I just started, with seeking forgiveness from you. So, but then, talking about getting forgiveness from people who had hurt us in the past and managing the changes that usually come with them. So that was why I actually felt okay, I should be a part of this show this
Do
afternoon.
you want to
But
do part two? Do you want us to do part two?
yeah, well, for me, I think I decided to join basically because I also had some experiences. So I wanted to hear people's opinions and how they manage such challenge. I just wanted to learn, um, not because I had anything big to hurt, but I I also believe if I had met up with the schedule, maybe I would have had one or two things to add. But basically, in life, we meet people whom we so much think that we would be friends, or indeed we should be friends, but eventually we discover that they hurt us, they do stuff we never expected them to do. And most of the times it's always so discouraging, and it waters down one's heart. And when it comes from somebody you so much love, somebody you convey so much of your trust in, somebody you so much value, it becomes even more artful because you felt that you weren't expecting something like that from them, especially when they now do it so deliberately. It really hurts. And for me, when I experienced it from people around me whom I love, including my own dad, it was so difficult for me to let go. But at the same time, I knew that if I wasn't letting go of those acts and the consequences that should follow it from my own end to them, then I am also not forgiving myself. It would be as though I am stopping myself from progressing because it would mean that I am hinging on what they had done to me and I'm still holding on to the past. So, how would I move on? How would I progress if I'm still holding on to the past? So, for me, people would hurt us. And as a matter of fact, I mean, last year was a year that was full of hurt for me from people I loved, people I valued, people whom I placed so much respect upon, people whom I placed so much of my trust in, people whom I even vouched for, and it's ended up having them disappointing me in a big way. And it wasn't as if they felt really sorry about it. There was no sign of remorse. And they felt like, yeah, we did it. So what's next? What are you going to do to us? It's really crazy. We have people like that. But however, the best thing to actually do to people like that is to let go. But at the same time, I think one of the points I saw in your write-up there, in the snapshot you sent to the platform, was that how do we deal with them? I think for me, the best way to deal with them is to forgive them for real. But
Yeah.
forgiving them doesn't mean that you allow them to hurt you again. It doesn't mean you give them the same opportunity again. You see, like a friend of mine was saying here, that especially when it comes to money matters, people can be so weird. People can be so crazy when it comes to money matters. So for me, last year I was trusting a lot of people with financial transactions and all of that, but it's the way it ended up. I wasn't so pleased. I was hurt, but at the same time, I had to let go. So letting go doesn't mean that I am going to allow them to do the same thing to me again. And letting go means that, okay, even though they had done that to hurt me, yeah, I forgive them. But then um, the level of relationships we did have back then diminished drastically. Like somebody would say that if somebody had hurt you in the past, forgiveness doesn't mean that you bring them together, you bring them close to you again, you embrace them. You can just love them from a distance. You understand? You can just love them from a distance. Hey, hello, how are you doing? I'm fine, I'm good. Yeah, wish yourselves good luck from distance. And then just maintain the relationship on that platform. So that's just my own opinion about it, though. But at the same time, I was looking forward to meeting other speakers who might have had such experiences in the past, who probably might have a better idea about how to manage it and how to deal with such relationships. So that's just my point. I shouldn't take much of your time. I think you're beyond an hour already. So
We can
thank you.
do part 2 next time as long as you come on time.
Oh, okay. Then that's beautiful. Then that's gonna be lovely. So I would love to be a part of the second edition if there is gonna be one. Like you said, for me.
You know what? I waited for you for 5 minutes and it's not
Oh,
coming
really?
on.
Oh, so sorry about it. So sorry about it.
How
Okay, I think
many
somebody.
times?
Well done, Mr. Shego Solomon. Yeah, for the good work doing. Oh, that's Mrs. Elizabeth Lucas. Oh, beautiful. Lovely meeting you here again, madam. Doctor, I should say. All right.
Dr.
So it's lovely.
Elizabeth Lucas.
Oh, she's your sister. Wow, that's great. Beautiful. That's great. Okay, my regards to you, madam. So basically, let's look out for the second edition. I would love to be part of it.
Brilliant. That's the date.
Yeah, absolutely. So do let me know when that is going to be so that I can prepare ahead of time.
Okay. So anything you want to leave with our audience?
Sorry, pardon me. I didn't get that.
Mute yourself, please.
Okay. All right.
Are you I don't know why have I got an echo now. Do you have anything to leave with our audience? Can you hear me, Sudan?
Yeah, of course, I can hear you. I can hear you
Would
clearly.
you
Can you?
like to leave with any words of encouragement with our audience?
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear that so clearly. What do you say?
Words of encouragement.
Yeah, basically, I love saying this. As a social worker, I used to tell people, you see, whatever you do today is always coming back to you. But the way it's going to come back to you is what you really cannot. When it's going to return to you is what you really cannot talk about. But basically, I believe that whatever we do, it's just definitely going to come back. So if you know how to do good, please keep it up. It's all coming back to you. If you know how to give to nature, please keep doing it. It's definitely going to come back to you in a great way someday. And in that wise, if I'm going to relate it to the topic we're trading for today, you see, I would say that no matter what people had done in the past to hurt you, even when it's undeserving, even when you never deserved to be hurt in that way from people, don't stop loving people. There is a great reward in loving others. I'm Christian. I believe in the word of Jesus, who says there are two great laws. I mean, the whole and entire laws, in theology that we understand is summarized in two things. It says, love the Lord your God with all your heart. And the second one is like it, love your neighbor as yourself. So, regardless of what anybody has done to you in the past, do not allow their own attitude towards you, the actions they did to hurt you, do not allow it to affect your own personal attitude towards others. So if you had done well to them and they did bad to you, don't worry, keep doing well, keep doing good, someday God will definitely reward you appropriately. I believe that. And people are also watching you. You can trust that.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And thank you so much to our audience who are watching. God bless.
My pleasure. My pleasure.